Can all humanity be saved? Brother Joel from SOT versus Hasad from Genesis. This was a clubhouse shootout. And I'm not going to interject. I'm going to let it play through. And then I do want to interject on a certain part that we weren't able to elaborate on due to basically getting packed out on stage. But I want to look into the camera and say, first and foremost, all praises to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Peace and love to SOT. We love the brother Joel. And let's listen to this discussion, y'all. All right, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna get this file up. Okay, and let's get right into it.
Right.
And I don't dismiss what people say, so I look into it to see if it's true. And I've never found a corroboration to that theory. Every source, even rabbinical literature, this is a humiliation speech.
Okay.
Even as it goes on to verse 12 and 13. So
I can mute now. I can mute.
Okay. So now,
you know
if
that's the only reason I wanted to talk to you about it is to see where you get drawing your conclusions from. But you telling me that you believe that because of First Timothy?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that only because of First Timothy. I'm saying I used the first scripture. This first scripture that I cited as evidence for my stance in Obadiah 1 was Ezekiel 7. And
so you want to go to that?
You're running now. It's like now. Are you running from First Timothy?
I just asked you what you.
I'm playing with you, brother. So
we want to go to First Timothy.
You made a statement. I should respond. I'm not just running to somewhere in Paul in an attempt to
I didn't say
position. I'm not saying that you said that. I just wanted to clarify that. So I'm saying I'm looking at the whole Bible and making sure it's cohesive from Genesis to Revelation.
Todd, if I may, real fast, make it out the way.
To be honest with you, no, you may not.
Nah,
I just have a question.
You may not, bro.
I just got a question.
No, because we're not. Because you're gonna ask me a question to somebody else.
I'm not. It's still in the same.
Can we read First Timothy?
I'm reading First Timothy chapter 2.
How can I not ask a question?
Because you said if I'm saying,
bro, you're gonna make him hostile towards me. Chill, stop.
No, I'm not hostile towards nobody. We're having a conversation as brothers about the Bible, so there's no love lost.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
can I ask a Bible question based off what we're talking about?
But I'm still in the midst of me trying to deal with a point in.
Okay, who can read it?
Yeah, let him go, bro.
Thank you. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, we see Paul saying, "Make prayers, intercession, giving of thanks for pos anthropos, all men, all humanity." That's the Greek word there. And then he says, "For kings and for all who are in authority." What king did the nation of Israel have in the first century that Paul is telling Timothy that we should pray for?
I guess it would be whoever followed after Herod when he died and got.
Okay, was that an Israelite?
In your paradigm.
In your paradigm?
No, in my paradigm, I wouldn't say what you're saying right now. So I'm gonna walk with you. So,
but I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you a question, brother.
No, you asking me a question, but then you leading me in the understanding. I'm not
leading you anywhere. I'm asking you a question.
The way you understand it is all men means all people. So I gotta think about it from your point of view. I think it would be who followed after Herod, because Herod died. He got filled with worms.
Okay, so it says, "And all who are."
That's
okay,
what you're saying.
Okay, perfect. So that's not an Israelite. So when Paul says all men, then follows it up with a person who you agree is not an Israelite. Is Paul consistent with his usage of pos anthropos in 1 Timothy chapter 2?
I don't
know. Or is he inconsistent? He's inconsistent?
I don't know.
You don't know if Paul's consistent enough? You don't know if
I would have to look at another usage of that word and see how he uses it.
I'm saying within the context of 1 Timothy.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this one time. I want to let this play through. I'm gonna let the whole. I highlighted the 1 Timothy 2. People were saying play the whole clubhouse room. The whole clubhouse room was not about 1 Timothy 2. So why would I play the whole clubhouse room? Come on, y'all. Like, chill out. This is the beginning of when they started talking about 1 Timothy 2. Go to his clubhouse and fact check that. Before I delete you guys from the channel, chill. This is crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the 1 Timothy part first. Then after that, I'll play when Hasad first went in there. I'll play the whole thing, but I'm playing this part first. Why? Because it's the title of my video. If you don't like it, get out of here. Matter of fact, Anybody who leaves an insulting comment, just delete them from the channel. Period. I'm gonna play this part first, and I'm gonna go back and play the part. This is isolating 1 Timothy 2. I promise you, and everybody can say Deacon lied. I'm going to play the first part, and I'm going to play when we first got in the room. But this part's first. Why? Because this is the title of my video.
Making his questions, you don't lose when you be honest. Everybody get like that in this Israelite thing. Somebody asks you a question, it's like a win or lose. I don't give a shit. I have at where Paul uses this word and see how he uses it to decide if I think he's consistent. You presented this to me.
I'm saying in the context, not
now, in
every
the
time.
Greek, I have a different answer. For Greek usage, I would say that would not mean all people all the time.
In verse 1, you agree pos anthropos would include all human beings because you said the king would include a non-Israelite. So we not also not just Israelites, other people. Well, in the paradigm you just agreed to. So that means you agree within the context of 1 Timothy 2, when he uses pos anthropos, it's not just referring to Israelites. But then it says in verse,
yes.
Well, in the opinion you just agreed to, or do you now disagree?
How many times I gotta say I'm using your paradigm?
But I don't want you to use my I don't want you to use my paradigm, brother.
All right, then let me use mine. So now if we go to, this is something that you taught once. If you go to the book of 1 John, there's a man whose
John
name
1
is
and 12.
Demetrius. And it said he has a good report of all men. And that's the same word. It's actually the same tense, right? The suffix is the same.
It's not. It's not though. Anthropos does not appear there.
No, I'm not talking about anthropos. I'm talking about
that's what I'm talking about, because that's what Paul uses in 1 Timothy 2. Pos.
Yeah,
anthropos.
but you asked me about all. Did you not?
No, I'm asking you about all pos anthropos, all men, not just all.
Yeah, but you asked me about all.
Pos anthropos, yes, all men, not just the word all.
Yeah, but all is the descriptor.
But all what? Anthropos, men.
Well, it doesn't say that. It says.
But it does say that, brother. What do you mean?
Hold on. It says, "I exhort, therefore, first of all." Right.
Right.
That's also all. It's the same word.
I'm not talking about that, brother.
I know, but it's the usage of all.
No, that's not my point, brother.
You can't take men, right, and then remove it from its descriptor. You can't do that. The descriptor is all.
I understand.
So I found another place where you see all being used to describe people. It ain't being used to describe plants.
I got you, brother.
So what I'm saying is all is all.
Right.
But all don't mean all.
Understood. My point of contention is that is not.
Wait, do the people understand that?
Again, the point of contention is not if all.
If you don't understand, ask a question.
Okay.
Because you might not know what we're talking about right now.
Here's the issue.
I understand. I understand. Can I answer that?
Okay.
No, wait, hold on. This is for it's educational, bro.
3 John 1
I don't care. If y'all have favorite doctrine that you prefer, please have it. But let it be educational. So what he's arguing is in 1 Timothy, it says all men. And what I used in 3 John just says all. But it's the descriptor is describing men in both places. So the all don't mean all in one place. It's an impossibility. But yet the word all is used. That's what I'm saying to him. For everybody that don't understand.
I understand your point, but
I know you do. Wait 1 second.
Okay,
bro.
you're talking to the crowd.
Yes, because they don't know everything.
Okay.
They don't know. So that's what we're talking about right now. And Hasad is saying, well, in my verse, it says all men, but he's arguing it as if that changes the usage of all.
No.
So if it doesn't, then my refutation stands that I don't think it was all. I think it was all within the context of who it pertains to.
Yeah. Okay, brother. So let's just go over it one more time. It says to he exhorts Timothy.
Hit me with the soft brother. Go ahead.
No, because there's a stigma that I'm just this arrogant, prideful.
I never said that about you.
I'm not. Well, now you talk to the audience, so now I'm talking. I'm not trying to be condescending, but I want to make sure, because this is starting to get. And I love you, brother Joel. You ain't nothing. You have never been nothing but a good brother to me. So as we have this conversation,
and I'm the same way, even when it's me and you.
Exactly. So it's all love between us. So I'm trying to I'm lowering my tone just so you know that I know this. It's not hostile. So in 1 Timothy chapter 2, when Paul tells Timothy, I exhort you therefore that you make prayer, supplication, intercessions, and giving of thanks for pos anthropos, all men, you agreed that's not just referring to Israelites, because you then agree to, when it says for kings, that's not an Israelite. So now the question is Paul consistent with his usage of pas anthropos, which you just included meant all people, not just Israelites? Is he consistent with his usage of pas anthropos in 1 Timothy chapter 2, or is he inconsistent?
I don't even know how to answer that question unless I'm comparing it to another usage of it. I told you
No, I'm talking about in the context of 1 Timothy 2.
You can't say consistent unless we're comparing.
No, it's consistent within that chapter. It says usage of that word consistent in that
compared
chapter.
To what?
Is it consistent in that chapter? What do you mean compared to?
If you say, is he consistent how he uses the word all? Show me where else he uses the word all. Does he use it the same in another place?
It's not about all, brother.
Is that what you're asking me?
It's not. No, it's pas anthropos. Yes.
Verse 4. Is he consistent in verse 4? Let's just keep it real.
Consistent against what? I can't ask you
is it, okay,
if you
the
consistent
same way he used, the same
if
way
I'm not
he used,
comparing against something.
Okay, here's what I mean. In verse 1 and 2, you agree that pas anthropos did not meant not just Israelites. So when he uses it in verse 4, is he going to use it inconsistently with how he first used it, or is he going to remain consistent in his usage of the word?
So now you asking me to compare it to verse 4. That's what I asked you.
Okay.
Wait, I ain't asked you that? I said compared to what?
Yeah, and compared to verse 4, sure.
Okay, thank you. Read verse 4, somebody.
Who will have all men to be saved and come into the knowledge of the truth.
Okay, so now when we would have all men be saved, the usage of all will have a context to me.
I'm not talking about all.
Wait, yo, my man, I understand.
Please, brother, can you stop saying that? I'm not talking about all.
You're not gonna make me say what you want to say. You're gonna let me say what I'm saying.
But I'm not
saying
you're
gonna
all.
talk to me about what I said.
All men.
And I'm only gonna talk to you about what you said. But what you can't do is make me say what you said.
So now it's representing him.
How?
Because I'm not Joel, you listen, for the record, I want to say this one more time.
I'm not even representing you.
I understand, but brother, I'm not asking you to respond to all and that word by itself. I'm talking about pas, all, anthropos, men, not just all. Pas anthropos, because that's the same he uses in verse 4 and in verse 1.
That would be like saying, because it says pantas anthropos, that's one word. It's not. It's a descriptor and a group. I'm showing you that in the New Testament, we see the descriptor used to describe a group, not meaning the group. And I see Paul do that.
And every translation does not say kings, man.
Hold on.
Some translations say rule.
Bro, we don't want to argue that.
LOL.
We don't want to argue that. You're talking about pas.
He said LOL.
Anthropos. Because he's presenting it like that's like one word, like it has a semantic range, when really it's just saying all people. All people. So all people, a lot of people, every the same thing as all people. Any people mean the same thing as all people. So what I'm telling what I'm telling them is I believe it has a usage. It has a context. I don't believe that people who that's saving is not accessible. It can't be talking about them.
Right.
But everybody it is talking about, it is. Right. Now, if you're asking me under your auspice that, well, here Paul means every kind of person, even if they're not an Israelite or traditionally accessible to salvation, I don't read it like that. But if that's how you read it, I understand. Right. I would say the question you asking begs the question of who is this pertaining to?
Okay, here's who it's pertaining to. I'm going to answer your question, and we're going to go back to it. It's pertaining to pas anthropos.
Notice how I didn't see when I tried to do the Jeremiah 49:11. Niggas act like I was choking them. I don't care.
Let's just end it, man.
Yeah, right here. He's talking about pas anthropos. He tells you.
But pas anthropos is not one word like it's a thing.
Okay, I understand it's not one word. Pas.
So why do you keep saying it like that?
I'm trying to answer your question. Here's what we know. Here's how we know what Paul is talking about. Because he uses the same word in almost back-to-back verses. We already agreed in verse 1 when he says pas anthropos that he's not just talking about Israelites.
No,
then
you
when
say
he
that.
uses the same exact, just agree to that.
No. How many times I got to say this? And you ignoring me on purpose. I said,
I'm not.
if I'm understanding it according to the way, this is why you don't understand me. You keep talking when I say something. If I say to you, well, I'm going to think about the way you mean it. And is he consistent the way you mean it? I wouldn't be sure unless I could compare it to something. That's the first thing I said.
That's not what.
And then, but that is the first thing I said.
Man.
It's not?
Here's what you said, brother.
Tell me what I said.
I'm going to tell you exactly what you said, verbatim. When I asked you who these kings were, when Paul said, pray for all, pas anthropos, then he says for kings, I asked you, what king? You literally said the Herodian dynasty. So those are not, and then I asked you, are they Israelites?
Is anybody here with me? Did I say, well, if I'm going with your understanding of what you mean by this, I would have to be talking about Herod.
But that's not,
and then somebody came in and said, well, Hasmonean.
The fact that I'm asking you, right, but the fact that I'm asking you, you're giving me an answer based on.
Because that's what you're asking me.
I'm not asking
you. You're not asking me what I think. You're asking me based on what.
So who are the kings?
So you think I'm asking you, so what you think I'm asking you, hey,
well, if you ask me what I think, I'll tell you. And if you ask me where my understanding comes from, I'll show you.
No, you're saying that you think seriously that I'm asking you.
I don't need to narrate. Hey, I'll tell you what I'm saying.
You're saying you think that I'm asking you, hey Joel, what do you think that I think about this? That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, what do you think? So I'm asking you one more time.
Absolutely, because when you look at
so let me just ask you then to clear any confusion.
When you looked at Basilion, you instantly thought who was ruling the Israelites at this time.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Oh no, sorry. Sorry. I did. Sorry, my bad.
So, come on, bro. Stop.
LOL.
You fighting me, and I'm not even fighting you. So what I'm saying is, I think based on what you're saying, it must be about the Herodians.
Okay, but I'm asking you based on what you believe. So when Paul tells Timothy,
I would think that it's blanket statement for all who this is applicable to and who it applies to.
Okay, so what kings did Israel have? Do we have any?
Because it doesn't even necessarily have to mean king, Basilion, or Basileus. It could just mean like governing authority. But I understand what you're saying. So I guess I would have to say it's kind of like when Jeremiah said, when you're wish health to the city that you're in,
okay,
and bless it, that he's kind of saying that the same thing.
I just want to say one thing, because in this discussion, Brother Joel said that we brought up Jeremiah 29. No, he just brought up Jeremiah 29 right there. I just want to clear that up, because in the discussion, he said that we did. You guys all heard him say that. That means that these kings in 1 Timothy 2 are Gentiles, because he's saying it's the same thing.
You know,
okay,
that God's will be established across the board. And it be beneficial to those whom it is applicable to.
So that
so hold on 1 second. So when Jeremiah was told to do that,
wait, come on, just let him.
Right. So when God told Jeremiah to pray for that city, and pray for the king is referring to the king of Babylon, no?
Yeah, who the Lord called the destroyer of the Gentiles.
Oh, perfect. Okay, no problem. So you agree then, if it's the same thing, that if you're using
because
Jeremiah 29,
the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
I understand. So if you're using Jeremiah as a parallel for 1 Timothy chapter 2,
I'm not.
But that's what you just did.
No, nigga, you brought me here. I didn't want to go here. I was trying to still talk about Jeremiah 49.
I think the point is proven, Hasad. I mean, the point is proven.
Well, teach it to me, Deacon. What is the point?
The point is proven. Yeah, here's the point.
No, teach it to me.
Here, brother. You just used Jeremiah 29 as evidence of what you believe 1 Timothy 2 is expounding on.
No, I did not. You brought me here.
What? I never mentioned Jeremiah 29, bro.
No, Jeremiah 49, number 1.
No, I'm talking about, you were talking about praying for the. No, brother, you must have misheard. The thing where God says pray for this city, pray for Babylon, that's Jeremiah 29.
Right.
That's the thing. And when I asked you, okay, so just like you're saying, 1 Timothy 2 is similar to when God told us, and I believe that's Jeremiah 29, to pray for the city, which is Babylon, and for its ruler, which would be a non-Israelite. And you're using that as a parallel for 1 Timothy chapter 2. So that means saying, to which I agree, that the king in context is not an Israelite. What does this mean? If Paul says pas anthropos, all men, then follows it up with talking about a non-Israelite, the only conclusion that we can come to is that he's not just talking about Israelites when he says pas anthropos, all men.
Yeah,
then,
but that's your opinion.
4 lines, maybe 7 words later, he says, who will have pas anthropos, same word he just used that we both agreed is not just talking about Israelites, pas anthropos, to be saved.
Wait, you're connecting them. Wait, let me say something.
Is that he's
let me
talking about Israelites in verse 4 either.
Wait, let me say something. You connecting them and making your own idea. When you read the part pursuant to the king, it's talking about that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life. You making it like this. This is how you taking it. I exhort, therefore, first of all, occasions, prayers, intercessions, and salvation be made for everybody I'm about to mention next, including the king. That's how you doing it.
I mean, I think at this point it's pretty.
Yeah, we love you brothers though, man. We love you brothers still, and you know it ain't.
I didn't say you didn't, but
Well,
look, let me finish.
Man, they
talking about
love
this.
us. They
He
love the
brought me
white
here.
man. They love everybody. It's love,
Come
man.
on, man, stop. So let's finish talking about this because you made me go here because I would rather be back in Jeremiah because I got interesting information on that.
I do got to go here in a second, but we can wrap with this.
Hey, man, you gotta go. But
no, go ahead, bro.
When it says for kings and for all that are in authority,
yep.
I mean, are you telling me that when Herod was trying to have Christ killed, if we temporally change this, that Paul would have me pray for Herod?
Wouldn't you pray that God puts it on his heart not to kill the Messiah, or would you?
Yes, but what you're saying to me,
saying
this to me that I also want the Messiah he was trying to kill to seed for his life too.
No, here's the point, and I hear your question. Here's the main point, though, brother. If we agree, Paul says "pas anthropos," even if in the situation you gave, was he talking about Herod? Well, you already agreed earlier, essentially, that he's talking about.
Well, all the kings that followed was pieces of shit.
They were, and to hell with them. But here's the point. The point is,
you can't say to hell with them because Paul, in your paradigm,
I'm saying that in retrospect, Joel, I'm saying that in retrospect. In retrospect, I can look back and see that they lived a horrible life, and so God dealt
even
with
Nero.
Beautiful.
You would say intercede for him,
brother. What I asked that God, I'm going to answer your question directly.
Because I take all your questions. Honest, give me that.
I believe Nero is the one who killed the Apostle Paul, right?
But give me that for a second. I answer every question you ask me. I answer.
Yeah, I'm answering it right now, brother. I promise you. I believe Nero is the one who killed Apostle Paul by beheading, if I'm correct.
But we gotta pray and intercede.
Wouldn't I ask God, change this guy's heart? He's trying to kill us. Shouldn't we ask that God makes? Because we're going to complain about this guy being a bad person. So shouldn't we want him to be a good person?
Hasad,
or else why complain about bad people?
Hasad, who you think
Don't you want bad
people? You're not bringing me to this
or
verse.
do we want everybody to just be a piece of shit and never change?
Hasad, who you think you're talking to? You're not bringing me to this verse to argue. Does the Bible ever say, pray for the king's heart to be kind towards us? You bringing me to this verse to say that all people are included, huh?
Right.
You're not, what? I don't even think you're listening, brother.
Bro, that's been the whole reasoning of why we was arguing in Jeremiah 49.
You're definitely not listening. So maybe I can reiterate it one more time and maybe it will make sense again. The point is very simple. When Paul says "papas" in chapter 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1, he says for kings. It took a while, but we agreed that the kings right here in context are not Israelites. If we agree that the kings in context are not Israelites, and he used the word pas anthropos to describe not just Israelites, other people as well, then in verse 4, when it says, who will have pas anthropos, all men to be saved, contextually and grammatically, it cannot be referring to only Israelites. So therefore, the conclusion is, who will have all men to be saved is not just Israelites. That is a clear-cut, proper hermeneutic.
That's the conclusion that you draw.
That's the conclusion that the Bible draws based on the grammar, and if not, I would like for you to please demonstrate how.
Well, I'll show you a multitude of places where the Bible
grammatically in specific, please.
Yeah, contextually, grammatically.
Yeah, but see now I thought you had to go. Now we're gonna take our time with 1 Timothy. So now you argued for the teaching here that we may live a good, quiet, and peaceable life, which is why I believe Paul mentioned kings and for all that are in authority, for the specific purpose of prayer. I don't think that anybody would pray for Nero to have an intercessor or Christ's blood to cover him. That would be absolutely useless. He's an enemy of the church.
Wasn't Paul an enemy?
He's an absolute devil. And that's
what
they
Paul
all
an enemy
have
of the
been.
church?
Did it to me?
Yeah, wasn't Paul an enemy of the church?
And he's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin.
Okay, so wouldn't you pray that if someone was an enemy of the church like Paul, that he would change his ways and be a decent person and believe in the Messiah?
Yeah, but Paul is our people.
Right, then. All right.
No, it's not all right then because you say so.
It's not because
just let me finish talking. Hold on. See, I don't, bitch. Like when they interject, I still try to field it, but let me talk to me for a second. I believe the prayers that are for the kings are so that the Israelites or the people of God can live a peaceable life. I don't think the kings are included in the sentiment of, and we also would hope that Christ's blood heals them and brings them to the knowledge and they could go in the kingdom with it. That's an extra interpolation that you add in because you word associating. But I don't believe that. I think the Bible been teaching that you would want the king to be for your side, and that you would pray that the king would deal peaceably with the people and have good success in his camp, so that the city that you in don't fall. But none of those people was ever included in the salvation plan.
So what about verse 4, brother? Who will have pos
I'm trying to get to it.
Go ahead, brother.
If you allow me.
Go ahead, and I got to dip out, and I got to go.
You know what I'm saying? I can do it for myself.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So we see that motif often, but I wouldn't have the man's Christ sacrifice then offered to them, because there was no offer for Pharaoh. What this does is this causes a problem. This makes the Lord's ways unequal. And I don't believe the Lord's ways are unequal. If anybody's ways are unequal, it's ours. I don't see the Most High through the history of the Bible operating that way. I see a respect for the kings of the other nations when they have rulership over the people. But I don't see, for instance, go to Esdras, not second, Esdras 4:1. Read that real quick.
Yeah, they didn't want to help us. They wanted to help us, but
yeah, but if the doctrine, all right, then he understands what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think.
But if the doctrine was that, if the doctrine was that the Lord's sentiment was consistently, because you tried to say that Jeremiah 29 could have that sense too. If the doctrine was that the Lord's purpose was to bring these other nation kings in, then immediately Ezra and Yeshua and the elders was immediately going off, because that wasn't their sentiment.
Yeah, it's a completely separate context, brother. But
how? Wait, how?
The
king of Persia.
The question Hasad asked respectfully was, and we could just, let me just put it really plain upon tape.
Instead of attacking my question, act like you understand what I'm saying.
No, the question that he asked respectfully, sir,
which I answered 5 different ways. Can he just take this question, Deacon?
He didn't. You didn't. He said, is Paul consistent or inconsistent with pos anthropos within the context of 1 Timothy 2?
And I said, according to the context that he's using it and the category it applies to. I said that 5 times.
So he's inconsistent
or consistent?
Wait. Why are you asking me for a yes or no on it like that?
Brother, well, I mean, okay, you can choose the answer, I guess, however you want.
Bro, every time I ask you something, you evade it. And then when I answer your question, you say it's not good enough.
We're clearly not evading. We're answering everything.
So why would you ask me a yes or no question on a question like that?
Because it's a question you have yet to answer.
May I say this? You're
Wait,
asking,
bro.
Let's do the last thing, and then we can end it here. I don't want it to get heated.
What? How come I gotta sit in the hot seat every time and play?
You just put me in the hot seat.
Somebody play. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I tried to ask you about Jeremiah 49, and I was told to stop asking you about that because I'm evading somehow Ezekiel and 1 Timothy. And I said, stop, everybody. Get out of the way. Let him ask his questions, and I'll take them. And then for the last 45 minutes, I've been right here dealing with pos anthropos with the imminent meaning you placing on it. I'm walking with you. I just asked a question about the manner of what we're talking about. Why would you ask me a yes or no question on something that has a nuance like that? Why is a yes or no the only acceptable answer? Teach me that.
Okay, because I don't think it's something that has much nuance. I think it's pretty clear in context and grammatically.
What is clear?
Here's what's clear. That when Paul uses pos anthropos in 1 Timothy chapter 2, as we've already agreed to in verse 1, it's not just talking about Israelites. So unless we're going to say Paul is inconsistent with his usage of pos anthropos, then verse 4, when he says who will have pos anthropos, all men to be saved, it has to be the same pos anthropos that he spoke of earlier, which we already agreed were non-Israelites.
But the same Paul delivered niggas to Satan. But he would have all men be saved?
Wow. How is that even remotely relevant?
What do you mean? How is it remotely relevant? How come when you ask me something, I gotta completely behave like a mature man and understand you? And every question I ask you, you insult the question. Come on,
I'm not insulting the question.
If pos anthropos means he wants all men to be saved, how come he delivered some men to Satan?
Because all men isn't as much as it's about every single human being in particular as it's about the human family. Anthropos, where you get anthropology.
I don't even understand that answer.
He's saying because it says
it's not saying all human beings. It's talking about all types of human beings. Anthropos.
That I will never. Word anthropos, right there. I think you really getting into the weeds with that.
Wow. Okay. Well, anthropos is where you get anthropology. Anthropology is the study of the human family. It doesn't discriminate. You're this tribe, that race, this ethnic group. It's human beings. That's what
That's the
anthropos
word you
means.
got to use. Is there another word you would like him to pick to where you could say, now, if he uses this word for men, he's not talking about the human family.
He said all Israel.
Right. He knows how to say all Israel.
Wait, hold on. I asked you something. If you hanging everything on the word anthropos, if he used another word for men, because Greek has other words, would that mean he's not talking about the whole human family?
We have to look at the context in which the word is used. Now,
you
look at the
should
context.
know, because that's the argument you make.
Look at the context in which the word pos anthropos is used in 1 Timothy 2. We already agreed in verse 1 and 2. It's not
Stop
just talking
saying
about
we agree. Say you said.
Wow. Okay. But we literally did agree.
Because we don't agree. Not on that.
Okay. You know what? We could end it here. Here's the thing, though. We got tough skin and thick skin. We were looking for a peer review on it. And so that offer is still out there.
Don't leave.
We still you guys as brothers as well. And
why would you not?
Of course.
Don't leave.
I took all your questions. I did everything you wanted.
No, but we are not getting the same. We are not getting the same treatment. But that doesn't mean
how.
I'm not talking about by you. I'm talking about the vast majority of the community.
So wait, what they got to do?
Hold on. Let Deacon speak, man.
I'm just stating position and how our sentiments that we still got love for you, brothers. So anyway, it's been real, y'all. It's been real.
Wait.
Come on, man.
Don't leave.
Listen, now here.
We was doing this earlier. He missed it.
Let me the final thing I want to say. Joel, I got nothing but love and respect for you. You already know that. I want to chop it up with you behind.
But yo, man, humor me sometimes, man. Don't always fight me.
I'm not. I mean, we just, we swing a sword, brother. It is what it is. But I appreciate you, bro.
You guys let me swing.
I had a question.
Hasad, real quick.
I would hope that Hasad and Deacon.
Left, but
I hope that y'all.
God damn! I didn't even know he left. He said he left.
Yeah, he left. He left. But y'all got my.
I would hope that.
Wait.
Can I say this real quick?
Y'all got my number. Tap in with me. Hit me up.
Yeah, I hit you.
All praises, peace and blessings, y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask him. So, what do we, with that understanding, like, how do we prophesy against the nation in their destruction? We should be praying for them.
All right, y'all, don't go nowhere because I just played the beginning. I played the end from the beginning. Now I'm gonna play the beginning because that's what the title is about. They also discussed Jeremiah 49, and I want to play some of that. And they also discussed 1 Timothy 2 a little bit more, so I'm gonna play that part as well. Let's keep going.
Right? Because he's saying the king.
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I wanted to ask him because the prophet prophesied against these kings.
Right.
But with that understanding, we should be praying for them and hoping that they come to Christ, not prophesying their destruction.
I felt like he wanted it both. I felt like he wanted it. Let me speak freely. Finally, I felt like he's trying to have it both ways. I felt like he wanted it to mean what he wanted it to mean, where he wanted it to mean that, and anywhere else where we have to apply that is not. It's not reconcilable. It's like it was actually irrelevant to him. The other places I tried to apply the teaching, every single time I was completely out of context. I didn't feel like I was though. And if y'all feel like I should have been another way, then you do it. But that's how I deal.
I think it's dangerous. I just think it's dangerous.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I wish I would have been able to ask this because when I was allowed to hold him to Jeremiah 49, something key happened. He basically yielded to the point that if it is literal, that these are literally orphans that are going to be left.
And I asked him, I said, who's taking care of these kids?
Right, but this is even more profound though. Whether or not we're taking care of the kids or not, if you admit that these are female children, you admit that that's what's gonna be left. You're admitting that the house of Edom ends.
Right. It does.
So it doesn't erase the fact that the house of Edom ends because there are women that are left. Bro, they don't carry the banner of the house of Edom. That's not how it happens. That's why I asked him, do you still believe in Numbers 1 and 18? If you say yes to that, you're done in Jeremiah 49. Now, if we go to 1 Timothy, right? I wish I would have been able to ask him this before he left. I hate when they do that. 1 Timothy chapter 2, you're saying the same author has to be consistent in his speech in order for you to affirm your doctrine. Because if he's not consistent how he teaches, then you have to throw him away. So if you're saying that Paul is consistent in his sentiment toward the heathen, you have to also find that in his other letters. In Romans chapter 9, in Romans chapter 9, is he discussing all men in verses 9 on down? All right, if he is, why is he saying that there are certain people from a certain lineage that are counted as the seed, but everyone outside of that who come from Abraham are not counted as the seed? What does that mean in the context of anthropology? You got to be consistent in that. That's why I wish.
Let me read something. This is Myers. Myers is a Catholic, and he believes in universal salvation. But look what he says about 1 Timothy 2:2. Paul is not asking for the conversion of heathen rulers, but the divine blessing necessary.
Dang it, my bad. What the hell, Saki?
That's why I said the first.
That's what the Bible.
Hold on.
Let me speak freely. Finally, I felt like he's
Dang
trying to have it both.
Hold up, y'all.
Not we're taking care of the kids or not. If you admit that these are
My bad, y'all. Hold on.
other letters in Romans chapter 9.
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
In rulers, but the divine blessing necessary.
I was trying to hear what white man he quoted on that. Either way, we gave our own exegesis, and we wanted his exegesis, but I don't know what white man this is he's quoting.
Necessary, so that when they discharge their office, God's people have safety.
That was my whole point.
But wait a minute.
That's why
I said that.
That's why I said the first.
That's what the
chapter,
Bible said.
The ending of the first chapter is the context of the beginning of 1 Timothy chapter 2.
And so when you
because they're going on. Oh, I'm sorry, priest. Go ahead.
Hasad.
Okay, so here's the beginning right here. All right, y'all. Here's the beginning where they talk about can vocab Malone be saved, and what else? Jeremiah 49. Now I want to share my screen real quick, just for those who, because it was a lot of yelling and screaming and stuff during their conversation, but I just wanted to make our position clear. All we're saying is that when Paul says pos anthropos, all men, they agreed for kings and all of them, it was heathen kings. We didn't say anything about conversion right here. So that white commentary was a straw man. All we're saying was this is pos anthropos, all men, all humans, and it is in reference to verse 2. These are non-Israelites. All we're asking was, is Paul consistent with his use of pos anthropos within this context? Because if all men is all humanity here, then all men has to be, if he's consistent, then you got to say that all men is all humanity here, that he wants to be saved. Or you would have to say he's inconsistent, which is bad. So I just wanted to point that out. And then let's go back to the video.
Was excommunicated, not.
Oh, damn.
I was told, yeah. Man, y'all. Where I'm at, just a war. I'm in a trench war. I'm getting air raids. I'm getting hate mail, bombs dropped, bullets
like God over there.
God damn.
Well, I would say nothing has changed. I'm gonna say the same shit. Nothing has changed.
Ain't nothing changed.
That's a good point.
Hasad, what you teaching? Okay. See that? Okay. Nothing has changed. The way to refute the teacher's gonna remain the same that they was before brother said that. There's nothing new to teach.
I'm sorry, I just read something in the chat. It's just God.
Patrick, God damn.
I'm gonna let it play, but look at this comment. Brothers can't take a L. I don't think nobody took a L in this discussion. Nobody was out for blood. It was a simple conversation. But it was edifying so people can see both perspectives. That's why it's being played on YouTube. And now you getting deleted from the channel because you can't just sit back. Nobody's insulting or anything. Nobody's angry, but you guys.
What happened in the chat?
Hold on, let me
He got you straight to the point.
He crashed it out?
He just said "F you, Hasad." I mean, hey, I get it, bro.
Ah, damn. St. Patrick, come to the stage. Why would you do that?
Bro,
Oh
Mr.
my
St. Patrick.
goodness.
Oh
Yo,
no, no,
I'm glad. You know,
What
I,
the
I
hell did he do
respect
that
that.
for?
I respect that because at least he's
holy
not like the
shit.
several dozen people who have
Damn, that's
inboxed him
crazy.
that
You don't gotta say F. I
paragraph.
mean,
Yo,
I said it was. I
Hassad,
said a
you
Yo,
were
lot of
someone
getting
shit
said,
was
someone hit
ass,
me up
but
and
don't
said,
say F
yo,
you.
Hassad, you was getting
Damn, you don't
you
gotta do that. It
yo,
was
Hassad,
ass, but damn,
you was
nigga.
hearing
That
you,
nigga crying.
hey Hassad, you was hearing fuck you from the Christians before you started teaching what you was teaching. Now you hearing
yeah.
fuck you from this side.
And you know what's crazy is like everyone thinks that I clicked up a vocab or something. You know what's crazy? Vocab just did a video and he put me and Deacon on the thumbnail and it says Genesis are still racist bigots and are
No, he
teaching
didn't.
heresy.
No, he didn't. He
Yes, he
didn't.
did. Yes, he did. So it's
Nah, I
like,
did see that.
so yes, bro. So this whole notion I'm clicking up with the Christians, nigga. The Christians are at war. I'm at just I'm siege. There's a siege being
Oh
waged
my
against us.
Somebody said uh Malone was gonna give you a Peaky Blinders hat for teaching what you're teaching now.
Yeah, KP said it went from "we love you" to "hate you." Yeah, bro. Someone said that I don't know where it was, but I had a couple people hit me up and said I should just dome myself. But
damn.
Damn.
I heard, I heard
Nah,
one
come
nigga
on.
say
That's
that
crazy. Come on.
I should be hung high.
See, but you gotta understand, Hassan, that's how popular you are. A lot of people look at you a way you may not look at yourself. Are you aware of that?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
That brother said absolutely.
You know, that's why I try to be delicate with stuff like this. And
And I'm
also
like,
too, I mean,
it's nothing to be heard about.
because I like to have real conversations. I like to explore. That's a good conversation because, like, do you understand the extent of what y'all all is really saying, brother Azad? Like, do you really understand that, King?
yeah, absolutely.
So, like, that's why I feel like, and sent you guys small texts here and there. That's why I feel like, of course, the egregious things that's being said is definitely kind of crazy, but I mean, we kind of get it all the time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Me and y'all all don't been on this app. And we don't got all everything that you said and worse from our own people.
Nah, the Christians love
So
you, Corey.
No, they do. They
They
do.
love you, Corey.
yeah,
They
they
do.
don't love me so. This is like a love hate relationship. Everybody
They
love
said
me.
they invited you to gatherings and everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these people,
Nah,
but
brother, don't act oblivious now,
Corey
man.
was actually supposed to be a guest speaker at the 2819 Access. I remember that.
Oh
wow, this
shit.
is crazy. I probably could have been though, no cap. But
Well, now Hassan gotta speak.
yeah, I would have put myself in a position. But what I was the reason why I was saying that is because, of course, I think like I told you behind the scenes, I think some of it is the responsibility of how you guys did it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean, and how you guys went about it. I think it was distasteful. Not only the behind the
Extremely.
scenes, not only the behind the scenes thing, but also the actual presentation. Because and I'm gonna use y'all all because this is y'all all's platform.
Hold on, I
When
gotta get your music. You bitching right now.
which
Go ahead, Corey.
watch out, y'all.
I can't.
Yo, I forgot how much extreme vulgarity and profanity that they use in this house in the Sons of Thunder Clubhouse. So like if it's too many of these, I'm gonna just have to tell y'all to go on Clubhouse and watch it. YouTube already doesn't like me. So I forgot how many B and F bombs was on here. Let's try to see what it do though. They about to damn get me flagged.
Stand this nigga
Brother,
y'all bro. I
Corey
can't.
bitch, he said it was distasteful. God damn it. How
I mean,
could you?
it was. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we can't, like, if we're gonna do the violin, right, y'all,
Con.
then why isn't the violin on both sides? You know what I mean? Like
Con.
when the brother communicates what's being said to him, then why the violin wasn't played? That's what I was saying because it's
Damn,
like
Hassan, you
some
gotta
of it,
stop crying,
yeah,
my
the
nigga.
egregious stuff was kind of crazy, but some of it was warranted because the way it was presented. It wasn't presented in a manner that was just directly down the middle. It was presented in a manner that was taking shots at the community. So you're taking shots at the community that you belong to. So guess what Israelites do in their community? They either take shots back or take it to a whole nother level with their shots.
Hold up.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Hold
some
up,
of it
Corey.
is
Hold
warranted because it's
on.
just man shit.
I got it.
Hold on,
I
Corey.
want to
Hold
let
on,
him
hold on.
finish, but I definitely want to respond.
Hasad, hold on one second. This room was not made for niggas to complain for real. That's not why the room was made. The room was made to tell my audience that nothing has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more brothers teaching something that other people already teach. So what's the problem?
Yeah. And
why you so hurt? You refute it the same way. If you disagree, you're going to use the same scriptures. But Corey, let me ask first, Corey Hasad. This room wasn't made to put you and Deacon in a skillet. You're welcome here. We modded you. But do you feel comfortable taking questions about what you taught?
Yeah, I'll take a few for sure.
Okay. Now that post date that to what Corey just said. Now it's all good and the balance is restored.
Wait.
I just want to respond to some of the things that
what I said? Let him respond.
Because Corey, you was like,
you feel like I was complaining
Corey started
about.
You said, nigga, how you did it? It's
Man, this
terrible.
nigga y'all is
Corey
crazy.
got
No, I didn't say
Let
that.
me just respond to some of the stuff Corey said.
Let him respond. He a brother. That's my brother. Let him
Yeah.
respond.
And just to there's three things I want to say. So the first thing that I would like to respond to, when you say the how this even came about was distasteful, I totally understand from brother's perspective how you come to that conclusion. I do want to kind of clear up some of the misnomers though concerning that, because I know, oh, you went up to vocab, me going to vocab wasn't so that I could, and I'm pretty sure he said this publicly, wasn't in an attempt to like, oh, here, let's go have this guy help me out to destroy my own community. That's certainly not what happened at all. I know that he's in contact with people who have large platforms to host debates and things of that nature on. So the only reason I hit him up was to get in contact with them. That's literally it. He was going to give me their number. He was going to contact them, say, hey, here's the number. Boom, done. Now, do I understand why people would be like, well, you're not even supposed to talk to him? Regardless, I can understand that. And from their point of view, I can say, I apologize. That's not what the intent in terms of what it was supposed to look like was supposed to be. For sure. So I can apologize for that. Number one. Vocab's still the devil, by the way. You know what I mean? I'm still maintaining that. Now, secondly, I don't agree that, not fully at least, that the way the presentation was put out, that it was distasteful. I don't agree at all. Was I taking shots? Not in a personal attack, nothing to demean anybody. But I do understand that I've been teaching this particular position for several years. And I had to remind myself during the live stream, and I talked to, matter of fact, Priest about it probably like an hour ago. Like when we start to not go against, but when we start to have these conversations about this particular topic, we have to constantly remind ourselves that this is something that we used to teach totally. And now it can come across as extremely arrogant. And even Corey said distasteful when we're, I guess, in a certain tone talking about people who are teaching something we just taught months ago.
Hey, hold on. certain tone. Come on, man.
Yeah, I even told you
keep it
what you
100,000, my nigga.
I am keeping it 100,000.
You know what the deal is? Hey, niggas that don't understand it, we chasing the bag or we too dumb, right?
Who said that?
In the video.
Yeah, you was calling niggas dumb and stupid. I even said that to you, so you was doing that.
Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe that was Deacon that said that we chasing the bag though. I said, damn,
well, I'm
chasing the bag?
Okay. Well,
I don't think I said the word bag one time in that video. Now watch this. We're about to see right now. We're about to see, and I'll stand corrected and apologize, but we're about to see right now. I'm going to go to the video. I'm going to go to the transcript. Let me share my screen. We're going to see if I said, brothers, I could have. I'm not going to lie. I could have. But so we're going to go, this is the video. Now we're going to go to the transcript. We're going to type in the word bag and see if I said bag. I said body bag one time. Body bag, body bag, body bag, and Ziploc bag. So where in the hell did you get that from, Joel? Maybe somebody told you. This is why you can't listen to one witness, according to Torah. You have to get multiple witnesses. I only said bag 4 times in this video, and it was body bag, body bag, body bag, and Ziploc bag. So unless it's not transcribing right, then somebody told you they lie. And again, maybe it's not transcribing right, but yeah. So let's go back. Let's go back here.
Here's what I will say. I don't
This shit
really,
is not
but,
it brings no
but
liquid.
if he did say
Yeah,
that, or
just
if
be
I did
real,
say
bro.
that,
Just be real.
well, I am being real. Hold up, before I respond to that, I did 100% say stupid, but I don't know if I called anybody stupid. I probably said something to the extent of, this is stupid. If anybody's offended at that, I apologize. My intent wasn't to offend anybody. Aha, there we go. yeah, that was perfect too. Right when I said I apologize, then we got the violin. Yeah, that was
Get out the
wonderful.
way, y'all. Get out the
Yeah,
way.
All right.
No,
but
Corey is actually really.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, y'all get the point of what I'm saying. In terms of the information, I think it was on point. Could it have been presented in, I guess, a more palatable way? I guess. I mean, if brothers feel some type of way about it, I don't want to make a nigga feel some type of way about it. But I guess it is what it is. If anybody want to respond,
Nah, bro, we need you on an apology tour. We're gonna
right?
need you to. We're gonna need you to get on everybody's YouTube channel and apologize formally,
Nigga
and
said,
then apologize informally,
nigga
and
said,
then
I don't
apologize
remember
through
calling you
email.
dumb. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Nah, come on,
yeah,
man. That's the
multiple
style. That's the style y'all kick it, man. Niggas don't understand it. They too stupid to get it.
times. Hey, y'all.
I'm just saying.
No,
At the
no,
same
no.
time, too, though, it is like niggas
But
just talking.
that
It's
was
a
the only thing that I
talking
said. I
shit too,
wasn't
though.
offended by anything because I was telling the brothers like, "Hey, we trying to learn, so like, let's kind of get to it." But what I was telling the brothers is, if you say that someone is stupid and then they say, "Fuck you, Hassan," I mean, it's okay. Just let it happen and keep going.
I'm just talking shit, bro. Like at the end of the day, we're just talking shit. When I say, I'm not saying that to take away from the severity of the what we're talking about, but I don't mean in a general, oh, you stupid piece of, and especially brothers should, I would hope that I have, especially with certain of the brothers on the stage, the rapport that I'm not calling you stupid. I'm probably just mad at some stupid stuff I saw in the comment section. I said, you know what, then you're stupid then, nigga. You know what I mean? Now,
Basically, Hasad is
yeah.
saying you niggas is too tenderized. You some weak vessel ass niggas, man. Y'all some weaker vessel ass niggas, man.
Y'all some
That's
vassal niggas.
y'all some vassal.
Ah,
Ah.
Y'all some vassal niggas.
sheesh.
Yo, where's
I'm
Roe
playing.
at?
I'm
Roe
playing.
was
I'm
crying
playing,
too,
man.
Hassan. He
Hey,
can't get away.
hey,
Roe was weeping.
for anybody that's
Bro.
in the comments or whoever's listening that think we're taking this way too lightly, just understand we teaching 5 point
Come
cylindrology.
on, man.
Yeah,
All right, so
absolute
it's
hell.
like,
And it smelled like
nigga,
shit. Yo, last
Yo,
week, what was that?
nigga, we laugh in like possibly the worst.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to fast forward this because these guys are just not saved, sanctified, or filled with the Holy Ghost. Um, and I say that jokingly, but filthy mouths. Let's see if I can get to the questions. The question part.
I'm
But
unsubscribing.
what's that?
I'm unsubscribing
Remember, y'all seen the
to get a debate going. And
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is where they start talking doctrine. No more potty mouths, I think.
you're going through whole crab, no swag.
Okay, wait, let me rewind it a little bit more.
Yo, I got you. Hold on,
All right, here we go.
this nigga right here.
Oh my
yeah, that
God.
nigga right there. Yep.
Buddy.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry,
Oh shit.
Patrick. I hope y'all. Am I playing too much? If I am, let me shut up. Go ahead, Patrick.
No, I think all three conversations could happen at once, man.
Could I say something?
Of course.
Shalom, family, Shalom, SOT. Shalom and Hassan. Listen, gang. I just want to know why would y'all go through all of this trouble? And basically, all you saying is 2 to 3% gonna get salvation. You could just put that in like a little small video. Y'all making announcements. You're going through whole crab, no swag. And essentially you saying they still gonna be servants, and it's only gonna be 2% of them. We couldn't have done that no other way.
Well, I didn't really have the opportunity to, because we had a council with all of our leadership about it, and then uh, there's a bunch of videos about it from Tazariak and whatnot. So it was all eyes on us at that point. The goal was to originally just let's talk about it amongst our camp, and then we'll make a video about it.
But
It was supposed to be a whole big spectacle.
but y'all was trying to get a debate going. And I rock with y'all heavy, but when this came out, I'm like, yo, what is
No, to that
going
point,
on?
yeah, to that point, you're 100% correct. Yeah, and I'll just say this. I was like, you know what? Let's just like you said, let's just have a we'll just drop a video, do our own little discussion on it. And certain brothers was like, nah. Let's smack a nigga upside the head with this. And unfortunately, I was outvoted.
Yeah, see, y'all was wilding for respect. I got one last question. So vocab gets saved.
If he repent and keep the commandments, then he can serve Israel in the kingdom for sure.
Nah, vocab can't be nowhere near my goddamn plantation.
See, we have to, and I want to say this too, though, and we can play, I guess, the vibe. Well, no, this ain't even like an emotional thing, but notice with these type of questions, which I will
going
answer.
out a little bit.
Okay, my bad. But notice, like, and it's not no insult or anything, but no, most of the time when I get specific questions in regards to stuff like this, we go to like extremes as opposed to the average. So let me ask you this: can a Israelite who molests children his whole life, rapes people, and murders people, lights them on fire, can he be saved?
What the fuck kind of question is this, man?
Right.
What is this nigga talking about, man? Hold on,
just
bro.
answer the question.
Hurting people,
Nah,
bro.
that's a
If
wild
he
extreme,
repent, watch. Just
that's a
listen.
wild
If he
extreme, gang.
repent
You
and keep the
tripping.
commandments, can he be saved? Because we're gonna follow a linear logic. If he repent and
You
keep
want
the
to do
commandments,
this now? This room was not for you to be on the
I
hot
understand.
seat.
So, but I'm saying he asked me a
Yo,
question, so that's
get
why
out the
I just
way.
asked the question back.
All right.
Can he be saved? I'm asking you, brother.
You talking to
Oh,
me,
you asking me?
Dublin?
You asking me? You asking me? Still out.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I personally will say no because I don't see
What?
where
I thought
you.
all manner of sins could be forgiven except
Yo,
blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
get back in the way. Get back in the way.
Yeah.
What you want me to
Jesus
So
do?
no, that's
Christ.
So I'm
cold.
What you
saying,
want
so
me to
see,
do?
it's a
That's cold.
ridiculous. The
That's
point is,
cold.
it's
It's
a ridiculous
cold.
hypothetical to
Nah,
appeal
but
to emotions.
what you're doing is you taking it to the most extreme of all
Exactly. That's what
extremes.
you just did. That's
Hold
me
on, gang.
pointing that
No,
out.
there's no way I took it to that
Yes,
level of
you
extremity.
because you know the audience that is listening and the people on stage and
Hold
the
on, my audience
tumultuous.
is
Hold on,
more
gang.
loyal to
Hold
you,
on.
nigga.
But
Hold on.
hold on, but watch.
You
Hold
got
on.
the people's heart.
Hold on. Hold
Let me
on.
just say this real
Hold
quick.
on,
Just
gang.
had to show you something, brother.
Hold on. Hold on.
Let me just
Because
say this
look at
real
this.
quick, bro. It's gonna take about 10 seconds. Because of the tumultuous relationship that our community has with that particular individual, you specifically asked me about him, essentially in an attempt to appeal to the audience's emotions. Now, I get it.
Wait,
I'm not saying it's like
hold
nefarious,
on,
but
wait. Why do you think I was
let me
appealing
just
to their emotions and
let me just
not my own
right or
volition?
okay, maybe it was your own, but others feel the same way you do. So this is why I'm saying when you say, "Oh, that's an extreme," it's an extreme on both sides, which is why we shouldn't deal in extremities. We should just deal with the things in general, because then you're going to sound crazy to the audience too, or even yourself when I ask you if a rapist who does all these horrible things gives you salvation. You see what I'm saying? It's following the same line of reasoning.
It can't be
I don't
because
agree.
vocab. Hold on, wait. Because vocab is literally Esau. There's no room for repentance for Esau unless we don't believe that no more. Unless that's just only going
Okay,
for.
so now
Hold
let me
on,
address that. Yeah,
wait. Hold on.
finish and I want to address. Go
Unless
ahead, brother.
that's no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Unless that's just going for specific individuals in the way y'all in your video.
Okay. You
Hey
want me to address that point right now?
Dublin, after you I guess ask your next question. I know Dan had a question as
All right,
well.
Yeah.
Salak, that.
Let me just hold on. Shaw got the funniest thumbnail I've seen. That's just funny. But let me just respond to that point. Two things. I won't directly respond to Hebrews 12, but before I do,
Oh, that's great.
in Deuteronomy 23, right? Hold on, just don't think I'm about to go overboard. It does say that I'm not even focused on the don't abhor Edomite thing. That's not the point. The point is, it says after 3 to 4 generations, they can come live amongst us in the land. You agree?
Damn, gang.
Just listen, bro. Does it say
I
that after
bet
three to four?
I'm not going to agree or disagree. I'm gonna just listen. You can teach.
But I'm
Wait,
asking.
I
But
don't know if we
see, but
allow that.
yeah, but brother, but if you ask me a
You
question, I
got to
Oh,
answer.
take a
It's only
position
fair
up
that
there.
Okay. All
you
right. Ask me
reciprocate.
again. Ask me again.
After 3 to 4 generations of living, being amongst us, can an Edomite come before the congregation and present a sacrifice?
Yeah, it said that they could present a
Okay, so if
sacrifice,
a Edomite,
but
watch this. If
that don't have nothing to do with
I
salvation.
got you, brother. Just
Oh,
slow
I
down.
thought that was a clerical error and don't
Let's
say
just
Edomite.
slow down.
Uh
Just I
oh.
want people to just walk with me. Okay, an
You
Edomite can come and bring a sacrifice before God. If an Edomite that lives amongst us sins, what do they do?
What do you mean if an Edomite that live? Are you saying
If
right
they
now
if
in
they
this
commit a
moment?
sin
In
that's
this
not unto
moment?
death, rather,
Wait.
if they commit a sin that's not unto death, what do
In
they
this
do?
moment? In this moment today, modern
No, when
times?
they lived amongst us.
Wait, if they not supposed to be among us for 3 generations or whatever, how would they
No, but
be
it
around us for
says
10?
that after three
I'm
to
not
four,
understanding the
you're
question.
not listening, brother. So it
Yeah.
says that after 3 to 4 generations of both an Edomite and an Egyptian living amongst us, they can go before the congregation and bring a sacrifice to the temple. You agree to that?
Okay.
So if an
Okay, I
Edomite
get how it
commits a
says that.
sin,
Yeah.
if an Edomite commits a sin that is not worthy of death, what do they do?
They would have to go in front of the congregation to make a sacrifice.
And then it says in Leviticus that that sin would be that they would give a sacrifice to make atonement for their sin, and it shall be forgiven of them. That's literally what
All
it says.
praises. All right,
So,
cool.
so that
Now,
means,
are
hold on,
we?
I'm
Oh,
almost done, I promise. That means you're admitting that an Edomite can receive forgiveness of sins. So now,
I'm
finally
admitting that
responding to
in
Hebrews
that
12.
time, I'm admitting that in that time, that's what that said. But later on, we have prophecy in Obadiah and in other places
But
that
hold on, we're
says
now
that. Hold on,
jumping. I'm
wait,
trying
real
to
quick,
respond to
gang.
all that you said, though, brother.
Real quick.
But you jumping somewhere
But
else, though, brother. I want to deal with everything you said.
all right, let's go.
All right. So what that illustrates is that Hebrews 12 is not talking about no Edomite at all can receive repentance of any of their sins. You literally just agreed that Edomites who commit a sin not worthy of death can bring a sacrifice to God and
Oh my
receive
God, I knew you was
forgiveness
gonna
of their
do that.
sin.
That's why I'm saying
So
there's
so that's
prophecy that
so
says that
Hey, hey,
Esau
hey, hey, hey,
cannot get.
Hasad. Hey, G, you not. Why
Who's
y'all letting
that?
this man cut y'all like this, bro?
Who's
I
that?
come from the
Who's that?
Sakari
Who's
Hey,
that?
school.
sorry, you
Hey,
gotta
I
hey,
know.
wait.
hey,
Listen,
hey,
Hold
hold
on,
hey,
on.
gang.
Let me
Hold
get
hey,
on,
some
gang.
off,
hey,
gang.
am
No,
I
no,
gonna
hey,
are we
Hold
gonna
on,
just
hold on,
hey,
Akeem.
you gotta wait.
Get your turn, player.
Yeah, keep him
What the
here, brother,
hell? You
but just
gotta
wait your
wait.
Don't
turn,
leave,
brother.
just wait.
Hasad
We
know
don't
my
allow that.
voice.
You
Hasad.
Yeah, but
gotta
yeah,
wait.
apologize.
it
Has,
doesn't
You
matter.
got
Hasad
to
know my
wait.
voice.
It
It
don't
Tell
does.
him
Yeah,
matter,
let me
brother. It
talk.
we can
don't
let him
matter.
we
You
can let
gotta
him go
So
wait.
after this.
what?
No,
Now that was funny. That's Tazadak from Sakari, and he was gonna get done so bad he would have got suspended.
No big deal.
Dan,
We
no,
got to
no, no,
turn
no.
this into no
Dan had a
circus.
question. Dan
Yeah,
had a
but let me just
question
finish
after
responding to the
Double.
brother if that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so your point in going to Hebrews chapter 12 is null and void because you just admitted that an Edomite can receive forgiveness of sins. Hebrews 12, when it says, "For he found no place of repentance," the man Esau, when he tried to go to Isaac and get his birthright back, he couldn't get it back. Excuse me. That's all it's saying. So now, are you going to ask me something about Obadiah or somebody else going to go?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Because I mean, if
Wait, hold on,
I
hold
don't
on, hold on,
understand.
hold on. Before we leave that, so y'all no longer teach, because I know Fruit of GMS always taught. That's the first school I ever heard teach that. Was
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 23:7 was a clerical error, and it should
hmm
say Syrian, not Edomite.
No, so if you look at that word, the clerical errors in Kings, I think with Doeg or something like that. I think
Yeah.
he's the one that is supposed to be a Syrian. In
So
Deuteronomy 20,
Deuteronomy
that's why
23 and
it says
7,
for
you're
he
saying
is.
that clerical error.
No, it's not. That's why it says for he is your brother. Edomi is the word that does appear in Masoretic text and in Dead Sea Scrolls. It says for he is your brother. Syrians
I've
are not the
never read
brothers of the
Deuteronomy
nation of
23:7
Israel.
in Dead Sea Scroll. I never seen that.
I believe, or maybe it's the Septuagint says Edomite. But
No, you're correct, Hassan.
oh, thanks.
Yeah, I
So,
never.
Someone's here
so
to help.
basically, so basically, when because I heard y'all say that Obadiah saying that none shall remain, you went to another part that
Last
said,
question, Double.
uh,
hmm
so, all right, no problem. You said that some will remain.
hmm
So is it going to be none or is it a little
Yeah,
bit?
I got you. It's a fair question. It's a question that I had to, like, as I was thinking about this for a while, I was like, well, damn, how do we deal with that? We're not going to twist the Bible to fit with, what this notion that we have. So none shall remain is not unique to just that text in open. It's mentioned throughout the Bible, two places in particular. In Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 11 and verse 13, you can all read it on your own time. it talks about a impending doom that would come to Judah. And when you read verse 27, it gives you, and even I'm pretty sure if you go into commentary, scholars would agree, this happened in ancient Babylon, right? It says in verse 27 that the king would be destroyed, and then his sons would also say, or it says the princes would also face a judgment. That happened, of course, with Zedekiah and his kids when you read 2 Kings 25. Now, why do I bring this in? It says in verse 11, none of them, when this prophecy takes place, none of them shall remain. It's talking about the Jews in Judea. But when we see this prophecy take place in 2 Kings, I believe, chapter 25, they poke out Zedekiah's eyes, and they kill his sons in front of him, and then they poke out his eyes. And then they carry the Israelites into captivity. But then it says the captain of the guard left the poor of the people in the land to till the ground. So wait a minute, is it none shall remain, or the poor of the land remains? None shall remain is used consistently through the Bible to just indicate a great judgment. It's hyperbole. That's the stance that we take.
I heard, you know who I heard teach that?
Jeremiah
Nasir,
49 is the same thing too.
Nasir and them. Nasir from Chicago, GMS Chicago. When they started their own thing, they started saying that Obadiah 1:18 was hyperbole, and it was really talking about their land. You teach that?
No.
So
I'm talking
Obadiah
about the people.
1:18 say what it say?
Yeah, when it says none shall remain, it's not in the hyper literal sense. Or else is Ezekiel 7 when it says none of our people would remain? Is that in the hyper literal sense? So how is it that the poor of the lands were still there to till the ground?
Well, it depends. It depends. One thing at a time. So Nasir and them from GMS Chicago, they said it does say that there shall be none remaining, but when it says of the house, it is in reference to their fields and their lands.
I don't take that position.
You don't take that position?
No.
So you think the statement where it says none remaining is hyperbole in itself? There should be none remaining of the house of Israel.
Just
the
like
Lord hath spoken it.
Yeah, just like in Ezekiel 7 with that example, but also Jeremiah 49. It says that I think in Jeremiah 49 and 11, is not. When you look at the Hebrew word for is not, it means they cease to exist. But then the very next verse, it says, leave your fatherless children, I will preserve them, and your widows will trust in me. So is he going to destroy these people to the point in which they don't exist?
What does let your widows trust in me mean?
They're going to trust in God. God's going to provide for them. But the point is,
I disagree.
Saying who's the widow? That's what.
To be honest with you, and that's not to like say that your question, because it's a fair question, but the more focal point is there's going to be people that are still alive, orphans, widows, etc. But in the prior verse, it uses the same type of language of a people no longer existing anymore. So that illustrates that it's not to be hyper literal. It's hyperbole that we see all throughout the Bible.
No, that ain't the law of war right there, though.
Hold on. Wait.
Everybody will be able to build, but we just had a queue. Y'all all is
Yeah, these are just specific questions about interpretation of the text, because let your widows trust in me is not a good thing.
Nonetheless,
it's hold on a second. It's sarcasm, Near East sarcasm for all your manpower has been destroyed. Let your women trust in me. That's a mockery.
That's not really relevant. The point is that
no, my man. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not.
Go ahead, brother.
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when I asked you what is let your widows trust in me, you were saying, oh, it just means let them serve me now. Let them come serve me. That's not the meaning of that saying. The saying is a humiliation and meaning that all your fighting force and all your men are dead.
Okay. So what it says
that's the meaning of the saying.
Got you. So then it goes on to say, and your orphans I will provide for. So you agree that there will be orphans that remain of the house of Esau?
No, the meaning, what I'm saying is the meaning of that saying is not I, Yahweh, will now provide for the orphans of Edom and I will take care of them. That's not the meaning of the saying. The saying is sarcasm and humiliation. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but just reading the text, leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive. It's literally, do you agree that there's going to be Edomites who are alive when this prophecy takes place?
Hold on, I'm going there with you.
What we're saying, it would denote that.
Let
him go to the text. And after this, I'd like a response to Ezekiel chapter 7, if possible.
Wait, hold on. I'm just talking about something.
I got you, no problem.
The meaning of this, the meaning of this stanza is humiliation. I don't believe it's meant in the literal sense of like I Yahweh will now look after those who are left behind from this specific fighting force to take care of them and keep them safe. It's not said like that. It's to be understood as a lamentation for the people of Edom. So all our fighting force is destroyed. All our men are destroyed. We have no one to protect us because all of our men will be killed and destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's meant to pronounce. How you're using it is if it is a matter-of-fact statement.
Okay.
What I'm saying is it's meant as a mockery and a humiliation.
Understood.
When the Lord says, you've prostituted yourself with all the people of the land, and look, and even with the Canaanites whose issue is like horses. I don't believe that the Most High God put the spirit on the prophet to comment on the length of a man's rod. What he's trying to say is, you're such whores, and these people been fucking you. You understand? And
I understand the language.
So that's what this is. So I don't think you're supposed to.
Joel, man, brother Joe, y'all were all, man. We gotta talk, man. I gotta put some anointing oil on you, brother. That boy cuts like a sailor, man. Hey, I see you in the chat too. The brother that's asking where's the Genesis schools at. We do have brothers in Florida. Just hit the email, brother. We do have brothers in Florida. Hit the email. All right, let's keep going.
Draw from it that the piecemeal way of you looking at it, like each fragment of the statement, I think it's meant to be said as a whole statement. But you pulling it apart to go, well, see, now there's got to be some orphans.
Right. Well,
it ain't really about that. You understand what I'm trying to say to you?
I do understand what you're trying to say, but it's just as a simple reading of the text, it literally says, I will preserve the fatherless children alive.
Which is the mockery, which is like the great humiliation.
Right. You're insinuating that it's mockery, but the point remains, it says what it says, which is God is going to preserve certain of these people alive.
No, think. If the children are preserved alive, who's taking care of them?
That's beyond the point.
That is the point.
That's literally the point.
No, it's not. Yeah, let me just finish
so some Israelite gonna adopt Edomites?
That's again, this is beyond the point. I can answer
that
those
is
questions.
The point.
No question, no problem. I can answer those questions. Here's the focal point. Here's the main issue. If we're going to take the understanding that none of them shall remain, which literally it says in the prior verse, it says, his seed is spoiled, referring to Esau, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. The Hebrew word for is not meaning cease to exist. How is it then going to follow up with saying, I will preserve them, some of them alive?
Because I guess
I just said.
I guess the better question. Can I just
wait.
Hold on, that's not.
But brother, I let you speak.
Hey, that's not is, by the way, man.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Wait. The answer to that question. The answer to that question is in the stanza you using. It says a little bit more. It says his descendants and his brothers and his neighbors, and he is no more. So if you're using the prior statement for piecemeal literalism, he doesn't have any orphans left. All his descendants are gone.
That's the point. Exactly.
When was that fulfilled is a better question.
No, it hasn't happened.
Wow. Okay.
Now, like Trilla would tell you, like through King Nabonidus and the amalgamation of the people, that's how it happened. But I don't believe that. I believe that
everything in Jeremiah 49 is future prophecy.
No, we're talking about one thing. What's up, Deacon? How you doing, bro?
Shalom, King.
Welcome to the stage, man. What up?
I wanted to talk about that real quick. This is the only thing I want to interject on, and I believe it's inconsistent in your hermeneutic approach to say in this chapter, which is listing all this judgment, that so Ammon, that happened during the Babylonian siege, and then Edom, this is 1,000 years into the kingdom, and then it goes back to Damascus, that happened with Babylon, and Kedar and Hazor, that happened with Babylon, Elam, that happened with Babylon. That I believe that would be inconsistent Furthermore, verse 19 tells you that this happens when Edom is in the land. It says, I will come like a lion from the thickets of the Jordan, leaping on the sheep in the pasture. I will chase Edom from its land, and I will appoint the leader of my choice. Most scholars would agree that this is Nebuchadnezzar or whoever was controlling Babylon. For who is like me and who can challenge me? What ruler can oppose my will? So all of this this destruction happens during a Babylonian siege. So this is how we know God can pronounce judgment on the nation and say they're going to cease to exist, but some remain. And the fact that they were saying it's only women left, the Bible don't say it was only women left. It says widows and then orphans. This doesn't say widows and then young girls. Orphans could be boys, so that means the line could still procreate and generate. So I just wanted to make that one point and just also refer to you guys to some commentary. I know Brother Joel loves commentary. This talk about the Chaldee paraphrase, understand. So it's talking about the Chaldees here. And then when you go down to another commentary, it says, threat to Edom, Esau and God's good time. The extinction of adult males is the prominent idea, but they're still teenagers and young boys. But either way, I wasn't even sharing my screen. This says the adult males, not to negate teenagers, young boys, young babies. But still the point was made. If you say that, okay, he's only leaving women, then this is a judgment where we see he says Edom will cease to exist, but then there's women left. That still, even if they can't procreate because you're of your father, which we don't take that position, but just entertaining their position is still a judgment where he said they'll cease to exist, but then women are left over. But either way, this was Babylon. And what happened after this? Edom is still in power today. So that's why we're saying there could be a prophecy where it says none will remain, but we see them remaining. It's not hyper literal, but hyperbolic. This is why Hasad was stridently trying to get them to address Ezekiel chapter 7. I'm going to show you guys that, and then we can keep going. Ezekiel 7, where it tells the Israelites that they would not remain anymore. Verse 11, 7 and 11. Their violence has grown. None of these proud and wicked people will survive. The KJV says none will remain, but we remained after that. Even wicked people remained in the land. Then verse 13 says, not one person whose life is twisted by sin will ever recover. Some translations say no person will be alive. That just didn't happen during the Babylonian siege. Just read 2 Kings 25, I believe. So let's go back here.
Block me, D.
I didn't block you
Because you an Israelite. You ain't getting no salvation, Roy. That's what this is about.
I tried to text Rhoda Chef.
I can't hear you,
I tried to text Rhoda Chef and it did not deliver.
This nigga lying.
Hey, but just one thing at a time, because we're not trying to. Good. I'm only talking about this one.
You not.
Brother Joel, just give me. Let me block this person. Brother Joel, what's your position on when this happens? I want to let this play, but just tell me your position on when you believe Jeremiah 49, the prophecy about Edom happens. When does it happen and where does it happen? Because you didn't state that position on here. You would be just now telling me your position.
Come on,
that brother's gonna stand.
Hey,
relax.
I do a joke and then here you go.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? That's kind of cool.
I don't like that, man.
Hey, hold on. I got it. Let me just say this right quick. Hey, brother, everybody on the stage got tough skin. So when it's your time to speak, we're going to let you speak, King. As long as it's one-on-one. If you want to take that approach, you know what I mean? You can take that approach, but just not right now, King. They having a different type of conversation.
Yeah, we're talking about the literalism and hyperbole. It's spiritual. Just listen for a second. What I'm saying is that if in the prior verse it declares that he will have no descendants, and then in the very next statement it says, let your fatherless children and your widows trust in me, that would be an instant contradiction, because if it's taken to be literal like that, which I don't believe. I think it's a humiliation to let your widows trust in me, to let your fatherless children and widows trust in me. Because we all know that, David said the eventuality would be we would be happy to kill their little ones and break their heads on rocks. So that's why I asked, if you take it apart as like, well, if you pull this piece out of it, that means that there must be some fatherless children. Well, then that means that God is saying Edom's little ones are going to trust in me and protect them the way you try to interpret. I say that it shouldn't be interpreted that way. That's what I'm saying to you, Hasad, because who's going to take care of those kids? Now God's going to pick an Israel. Now you're going to look after his widow and his fatherless kid after you kill them. He's going to live.
It's hyperbole.
I don't think it's going to be like that.
Right. That's my point, though. That's hyperbole. And more importantly, Ezekiel 7 says what it says. It's kind of left untouched, but that's okay.
I can't get to it because we're talking about this. I'll talk to you about Ezekiel. I just got to go look at it. What's up?
No problem.
We're talking about this. Don't say that. Don't say I'm leaving it untouched because I don't jump to it right now because we're talking about this. And I only
But that's
ask
what I'm
you
saying.
one
If we're going to
question.
be consistent with the same phraseology and usage throughout the entire Bible.
No, that depends. It depends on what you're reading.
Is something that's used.
Yeah. So in this context, this is not teaching that God is going to take care of the widows and fatherless children. That's not the meaning of the statement, correct?
That's your position. But here's the more.
Say no, then you say yes.
Here's the more pressing issue. Right. Here's the more pressing point. We literally see if these people are totally going to be absolutely annihilated to the extent in which you're speaking of, meaning that's genocide to the literal point, then there's going to be a big issue with that. Here's some of the big issue with what we see the disciples doing in the New Testament and who they're ministering to. For example, in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1, it says, make prayers, supplications, giving of thanks, and intercession for all men, pas anthropos. Then it says, for kings and for all who are in authority. What kings did the nation of Israel have in the first century?
The Herodian dynasty.
Okay, so are you saying Paul is giving instruction to Timothy to pray for the Herodian dynasty, who we both agree are Edomites?
Well, I could talk about that in 1 second, but what I'm saying is,
that's the point.
We literally talked about.
No, talk about it right now. He said, yeah, I got the reins today. It's me. Shout out, brother Yahweh all in the chat. Yahweh all, because we about to wrap this up. This is about, you getting ready for new moon? Okay, I think there's about 12 more minutes of this. But are you saying that, and shout out to the brothers at SOT, I hope y'all have a happy new moon. All praise to the Most High. But are you saying that, can you just kind of simplify it for me? According to your Jer 49 exegesis, that Christ is going to come back, gather the Edomites, and then take them to their land, and then that's when Jeremiah 49 is fulfilled? It's going to be a problem, and I'll explain why respectfully.
This at camp.
Right. Yeah, but hold on. Because you can't do that to me. You could do that to other guys, but like with me,
I'm not running from anything.
Did I say that?
Nah, but that's
so then why you say that? So
here's why. Because I'm taking the whole look at the entire Bible.
What I'm saying is, what you can't do to me is because I don't talk about everything at once. I don't want to talk about it.
Joel, the Hasmonean dynasty. That's important to understand. The Hasmonean dynasty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, under the rulership of the Maccabees, they actually were the king. Matter of fact, Herod wouldn't have been king without that, and he actually married a Judite princess, which was in royalty. So
that's how he got to be a part of the family.
Exactly. We did have kings set up.
But that's not okay. But I want to just respond to that. I have
Wait. One thing first.
But it is one thing first. But you're saying
no, it's not, because if it's one thing first, we still talking about. Then you say that God really means that. God really means I'm not arguing your entire doctrine at one time.
Can I just say this one thing though? Joel, you're really going to agree that we had the Hasmonean dynasty was in existence when Paul wrote to Timothy?
Well, no, the Herodians was
okay, but Ratazan just came on and said that
because
was the
he's saying that the Hasmonean period is what led to Antipater the Edomite getting into power.
But that means nothing though. That's almost like setting you up for failure, because to say the kings in 1 Timothy 2 has anything to do with the Hasmonean dynasty when the Hasmonean dynasty was almost 200 years prior, at least 100. That's not a good timeline. But he already admitted, brother Yahweh, that the kings in 1 Timothy 2 would be the Herodian dynasty. That means Paul is telling you to pray for the Edomites. And then not only that, if he's consistent with pos anthropos, he's saying pos anthropos again 3 verses later about salvation. So you got to take a position, and we're locking you guys in. Either he's inconsistent with pos anthropos or inconsistent with pos anthropos.
Right.
But
So
with
but
the
they're not
virtue Herod.
so here's the main, again, the
But
question
hold
is,
on. Can I say
yo,
something?
what?
What are we
You're
doing?
not
So what I'm saying
here's what
is,
we're doing, brother. You're
if
saying, what are we doing? Let me
we're doing
explain
one
what
thing
we're
at a
doing.
time. So what you're
Yes.
saying about Jeremiah 49:11, if you don't agree that it is humiliation speech, then you do believe that God really means that. That
The point,
let
right.
your fatherless children trust in me and let your widows.
He's going to preserve them alive. That's the point. There's going to be a lot of them are going to be utterly
Then you
destroyed. I don't
change the
deny that.
meaning of the passage to
I'm not
to
changing it.
preserve your children alive, and it becomes a good thing.
It's not bad that their people just got obliterated. Now, the point still is that there's going to be some who remain. That's the point. You saying
I don't
that,
believe
well,
that's
what
the
does
point
that
of the
trust in
statement. That's
me?
our disagreement.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
but
You can
if you
disagree with
got,
that.
if
And
there's a I feel like you guys are just gonna disagree. So maybe move on to the next point. But
exactly.
That's
This is what I'm.
enjoyable to
can I
This
say
is
this
what
discuss.
I'm
too?
saying,
I
Joel.
want
Why
to
you
say
gotta
this too.
discuss the
This is
disagreement?
already a sensitive topic. If we said on the presentation we would like a peer review. We didn't want to debate until everybody
I
processed
didn't
it.
even bring this up.
I know,
I
so
didn't
that's
either,
what I'm
but
saying.
niggas start bombarding me. So
I would like to maybe just deal with Hasad's point over there, and then we could kind of end it there, because it's just
yeah,
gonna turn into a debate. Really, that's all it
yeah,
is.
and that's like the brother said. I just want to have a discussion with brothers, and it's ironic because Joel, you wanted to do the same thing with the the John 1:1, the pre-incarnate
Yeah, we
Christ
make
thing, and you
mad
weren't,
rooms. We got like
and you
5
weren't, and
rooms.
you.
John 1 and 1.
I'm saying
Let's
this,
talk
brother.
about it.
You weren't. This is not me trying to like jump you. I'm saying the way in which people responded to that was unfair, and so now I'm saying, because you see how people treated you in response to your position in that stance, I would hope that you could afford me and us the same respect of, hey, we just want brothers to peer review this. If there's a debate in the future, I'm more than willing to do so. But at this point, especially with this in this
Doctrine.
right, no,
I'm
no, no,
not.
no. I got you.
This
I'm
isn't
saying,
even something that
brother. Let me just finish this real
I
quick.
talk about Christians with this.
I
Christians
got you.
believe this is an actual verse to go to
But let me just finish my point,
combat
though, brother.
Hebrew Israelism.
I got you. Let me just finish this. I'm saying I would more like to have conversation with brothers where we just build and don't got to be live. If
Okay.
that brothers want to do that, that's cool. But I'm saying this. Let me just wrap with this. In 1 Timothy chapter 2, if we can agree that there are no Israelite kings during the first century when Paul is writing this to Timothy, who are these kings that Paul is telling Timothy these people that we should be making prayer, intercession, and giving of thanks for?
Wait, I can't discuss the unrelated thing about
Right,
scriptural history. I got to stop. But then I
right,
have to discuss a scripture in
right.
Timothy towards your point.
Brother, you're not
No, we
okay. Let
don't.
me
You know
explain.
what? No, Hassad. You know what? Let's just stop right here, bro. We're stopping. He don't want to address it.
Why? Who
Let's just
said
stop
that?
it, because
Wait, no. Hold on for a second.
we're not
The
about to
point
Well, they
the
don't be
discuss.
point
in our rooms
the
a lot.
point
They don't know how we rock.
the point is something was presented by Hassad in
Yeah, and I'm
Isaiah
asking them
49.
about it.
So we're talking about, because I have questions about too. It's not a debate. We just want to
Yeah,
understand your doctrine,
Ash.
right?
Here's how you
If
understand it, King.
if you go to
And it has nothing to do with can all nations be saved. It's
Yeah,
about the meaning of this particular verse is a point
I
of
got
interest.
you. Here's
right,
the point. Let me just surmise it real quick within 10 seconds, hopefully. You're
Okay.
saying when it says preserve them alive, you're saying that that's just God mocking them.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying it's
humiliation speech.
I got you. You're saying it's humiliation speech. I'm saying it's not. The reason I'm going to Timothy is to illustrate this, that if in fact the disciples are interacting with people who we would agree are Edomites, why is it that he's using this type of language, telling them what to do in terms of how they can have a relationship with God if their destruction is something that is uncontrollable and that is destined no matter what? I'm not running to another place in an attempt to divert from Jeremiah 49. I'm going there in an attempt to show you this is how you make the Bible consistent from beginning to end. So in 1 Timothy chapter 2, who are these kings that apparently aren't Israelites that we are to. It says all in authority as well that we are to pray for, make supplication, and giving of thanks for.
Bro, if you look at my computer, it says Jeremiah 49 and 11.
Wow,
Give me one.
really? That's not right.
What verse you want me to go look at?
1 Timothy chapter 2, brother. That's
all right. So we gonna. Hey, nobody say I'm not fair.
Okay, I appreciate it, brother.
Nobody say that about me. I'll go look at what he want to look at.
While he's getting that, so you're saying, Hasad, that Isaiah chapter 49 is
Jeremiah.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah 49 is not a mocking sentiment, but is rather something that's quite literal, that there are literally
that's
gonna
about
be
to happen. Like
that there are literally gonna be descendants. Because you would think that's future prophecy if you're saying that. If
I fundamentally disagree.
It's future prophecy if you're saying that there are gonna be a remnant of Esau.
I'm only deleting those who are saying somebody's winning or losing, because nobody's winning or losing. I'm also deleting people who are being disrespectful to me or Hasad. If somebody says you're ducking a verse, that's not saying you're winning or losing. Do you guys feel like he's ducking the verse? You guys feel like he's ducking the verse or he's dealing with the verse? Shabar's in here. It says that they was ducking me too. I haven't heard you and I haven't heard you, Shabar and Joel discussion. Why you keep on being a nuisance in the chat?
Esau's children that are gonna have to be taken in. So
I'm
are you saying that that's literal?
Okay, here's what I'm saying. That Jeremiah 49, even if I were to say that this is something that is yet to take place, that describes a great destruction of Esau. And in verse 10, it says, is not. This is more evidence of, in Obadiah 1 and 18, it being hyperbole. Because just like Obadiah 1, Jeremiah 49 gives the same type of sentiments of this grand, great destruction on these people. But then it follows up in verse 11 with saying, I will preserve some of them alive, which would indicate that this is hyperbolic language. Not that it's talking about an absolute ethnic cleansing of an entire race. That's what I'm saying. And my evidence to support that is with what we see the disciples doing in the New Testament. That's what I'm doing.
So you wouldn't believe that, as it pertains to Edom, that this is a destruction of all of their men? Because if you go to verses like
yeah, well, it says I will preserve.
Numbers.
Just to answer your question, it says I will preserve their children.
Well, let me finish.
Are you saying that?
Wait. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So, because for instance, like certain positions would be that this is a war proclamation against the house of Edom, and in certain war proclamations against other nations that the Most High God has made, pursuant to Numbers 31, examples verse 17 on down.
Yeah.
When we were fighting the Midianites for their
you
oppression,
leave the women and the kids.
Right. You leave the women. You take the young women. It calls them women, children, and you take them. You kill all the man children, anyone who pissed against the wall, right? But would you say that those young women that have not known a man that the Israelites were told to take, those are also orphans, right?
Yeah.
So would it be your position that these orphans that are in Jeremiah chapter 49 are the same, in the same likeness? These are
No, you're
people that
you're assuming that Numbers 31 is a direct correlation with Jeremiah 49, and while there are similar sentiments there,
that's why I chose my words carefully. I didn't say it's direct correlation to the house of Edom.
Okay, my stance is that it's not an exact correlation, and because of that, the fact that it says I will preserve your children alive. Well, what are these children all going to be women? So there would be boys there too.
Yes,
Maybe
all
they're
women.
not. The point is.
But
that's why I asked
the
you.
point is
that
really
begs the
this:
question,
whether they're boys or girls is really irrelevant. The fact that
No, it's not.
No, because that would contradict other scriptures in Isaiah
Not
50.
be irrelevant. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I'm supposed to be answering a question that we're supposed to be going to
Damn, I
Timothy.
know. Lord of Christ.
Like, this is
get
crazy.
awarded to go to first. How in the hell do they say they just get to write the Bible and say orphans means all women? and then they say widows means virgins. So y'all just get to rewrite the Bible? You can't make orphans all women, and you can't make widows virgins. You can do that to like Trilla or D Jackson, but you can't do it to the apologists that y'all championed against these PhDs. You're not going to do that. The Hebrew Israelite apologists that y'all championed for all these years said we taught y'all how to cut Christians. You can't do that.
Timothy too. The point is that even if, let's say, I were to entertain that every single biological male of the nation of Esau gets completely destroyed, every
you're
single
supposed to
one to
kill them,
that
right?
degree, that degree. Nonetheless, the stance that you're making about Obadiah 1:18, if there's women alive, that means it's not an absolute, a hyperliteral thing. So that
Can
still
they?
proves my point.
Can the house of Edom
Nope.
proceed after all their men are dead?
That's not the point, because there's
That is the
you're,
point.
no, it's not the
Because
point. You're
wait,
saying,
Hassan, you believe in Numbers 1:18 still? Yes or
no
no?
problem. Yes, I do, but that's not
All
the
right.
point. That's not the point, because is a Edomite woman an Edomite? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah, but
Okay,
but
so
she don't carry
exactly.
seed.
but she don't
That's
carry
not
the seed.
that's not the point. You're not even listening. You don't even understand that the point that you're trying to make contradicts your own ideology.
No,
Because
no,
even
What?
if
we
there's a
totally
woman,
understand what you're
even a
We've
saying.
woman
never
that's
taught.
alive,
Wait,
But
Hassan,
what
we
we
have
yo,
saying
never
I
is
can't
more
taught.
than
even.
that.
I can
What
barely
we
talk.
saying is more than
I
that. We
can
can
We're
hear
barely
what you're
talk.
saying.
you're
I
assuming
thought
our
we
position. We have
I
never
thought
taught
we
that
agreed.
there are no Edomites that exist. That includes
So,
women.
brother, you're not okay. Let
We've
me
never
kind of.
taught that.
I got you. No
We
problem.
taught
So let
that
me
the
just
house
respond.
of Edom
I got you.
ends because all the men are gonna die. If I
Got you.
take a Edomite test as a captive and
Yeah.
that woman is impregnated, she's carrying the seed of an Israelite.
Understood,
And then
brother.
that continues, the
Hmm.
house of Edom is no more.
Understood.
That is
Hey,
something that
so like,
literally happened.
Right.
brother
No,
Hassan, before you speak, I just want to say
which?
this right quick. The
Go ahead.
conversation right now is with Joel and Ash and brother Hassan and Priest. If
Got you.
everybody else can remain muted
Wait,
up, they're
Well,
having a
well,
conversation.
well.
well,
Let me.
the stage is open, but if brothers feel like
But
they
if
being interrogated, then I
No,
don't
they
it's
want to
kind of
see
fine.
that.
being
It's
they
just,
kind of
I
being
don't
I
mind
spoken
think
being
over,
you
to be
have to
interrogated.
honest.
be
I just
able
want to be
to.
able to
You
respond. That's
No,
it.
they being I'm saying they being
No,
spoken over by others. So I'm trying
uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
Being spoken over by others and the owners of the room. They was trying to, hey, but it's all good.
clean so we can, you know what I mean? Like we can listen to the bill.
I haven't even
So
been interjecting. The brother Captain interjected while Joel was on the way to get First Timothy 2. So I just want to make sure that him and Hassan build on that, and so we could just kind of be done after this.
I
Yeah.
think
So,
that's where to go. But
Well,
let me
we gonna
just.
kick doctrine
yo,
till we
bro,
close it out.
let me, can I please just go to First Timothy 2 and then we can end the confusion here?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's leave because I ain't want to interrogate you. That's a point of interest for me, Jeremiah 49:11.
That's fine. We
I've
can
debated
discuss it
several
further.
Christians on that who have used that as a scripture to say that the Most High God is going to be loving and caring.
Okay, at that point, so if you're just now coming in, what I did was I played the end in the beginning. So I cut it right here, but I put the First Timothy 2. So this is all the footage. It's just I played the beginning. I'm sorry, the end at the beginning because that was the title of the class. All right. But that was good, y'all. That was good. It was a good conversation. I don't think Joel or Hasad was out for blood. Somebody said, hey, their end our beginning. But I don't think Hassan or Brother Yahweh all was out for blood. It was just a conversation. Was Joel yelling and screaming and cutting off my brother? Absolutely. I think we can all unanimously agree to that. But it's still good. I was texting rather Brother Yahweh all last night, told him I love him. All praise to the Most High. But at the end of the day, everybody, keep searching, keep studying. Just get the hate out your heart. All right. Stop hating your brother and breaking the law. All right. Let's end this, everybody. Everybody have a good new moon, too. Everybody have a good new moon. It's still light outside on the West Coast. So all praise to the Most High for that. All my lunar Sabbath keepers, Shabbat Shalom or Shar Shabbat. We're going to end this by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai and Shalom.